All right. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? So we are going through some transition changes here with the connection for our internet. So can everybody hear me okay? I just want to do a test and see how is everybody hearing me? How's my frame rate? Ooh, the background's all funky there. Let me fix that. Um, let's see here. Very interesting. But let me know how is the sound quality? How is that? I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the lesson. Oh no. Let me fix this here. But go ahead and chat in the chat. Let me know how is the quality. How is the sound? How is the video? Awesome, Zach's here. Zach, if Julian's up and going, can you get him to see if he can figure out what's going on with our background here? Not a huge deal, but there's a little bit of the screen. You know what? I figured it out. Never mind. Hang on. Somebody left the door open. There's a door over there. Oh my gosh. Okay. And we'll get that out of frame too. There we go. Now it's all good. All right. They're both good. Okay. So it sounds like you guys are getting good audio, good video. That's important. We're going to, if you do, over the next 2 classes or so, we're going to be actually moving the studio, moving the camera and the lights and everything to a new location. The reason I'm telling this to you is because I think it's important that you understand we're going to do the best job we can to make sure that you're still getting the highest quality streams and highest quality classes possible. So I'm going to do my very best to make sure that happens. But if there are any issues over the next couple days, please know that we're working as fast as we can to make sure that it happens without any problems. But if there is any problem, it's just because of this move, and it will get fixed. So if a stream is a little bit late, or if the video is a little bit off, or the audio is a little bit off, it's being fixed. But we're doing a whole huge project here where we're moving all of our equipment to a new location. So I hope that nothing goes wrong and it's perfect the whole time. But just in case, I wanted you all to be prepared. So if there is some issue, you can say, oh, it's okay. Josh told us we're just moving the studio. I'm sure it's just that, and they'll be back, no problems, okay? So I don't want you guys to worry. I know how much you love being here and being in class, and I know how much I love you being here in class and learning with us. So please know that that's happening, and hopefully nothing will change, nothing will go wrong, but if it does, it will be fixed quickly for you, okay? Any questions about last class? Does anybody have any questions about what we talked about last week? If so, put them in the chat. All right. Let's see. Everybody says, most people say it's perfect, so that's good. Pro Kami, yes, the door is gone. From my screen, my image on the screen is only like tiny, so I can't really see that it was a door. I just thought it was the image, like the actual green screen image. So hi to everybody. Of course, Rosa's here. Good morning, Rosa. You have a severe headache. I am so sorry to hear that. I look forward to you watching the class later, and please email me with any questions. Rosa is one of our amazing premium subscribers, and I'm so sorry you're feeling bad. But of course, you take your time. Even if we need to, we can have like a hangout at some other point where you're feeling a little bit better, and go over any questions that you have. Abdesamad from Morocco. Hi, how are you? Ire, French Leo, Selma, Libyan, Diri. Who else is here? JB's here. Hi, JB. Walter, Ali, Annie, We have so many familiar faces, but is anybody new? Is it anybody's first class today? Pluxio's here, Jose is here, Fabio's here from Brazil. What's up, Brazil? Jimmy Fallis is here. Good morning with coffee. I have my coffee here too. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Abdallah, Sanam, Sankar. Is it Sanam? The T is like an S sound. That's how I want to pronounce that name. Alexander. Sanam is new. Everybody say hello to Sanam. Welcome, new students to the class. Hiding Love is back. New for a few weeks. Yes, we've seen you here for a few weeks. You're a familiar face by now. Good to see you. Shankar from India. Emson is here. So many great people in the chat. It's wonderful. Sunil from India as well. Hyatt from Melbourne. Best One, great screen name. Best One from Sudan. What's up, Sudan? Good to see you. Alexander is here. Okay, lots of great people in the chat. I'm very excited about that. We're going to get started on the lesson here in just 1 second. I'm just making sure that our chat settings are up in the background. Let me bring up our Smrt lesson and then we'll get started. So I asked for a call out last week to say, hey, what do we want to learn? And I got several great answers about specific, like really specific topics that you guys want more information on, but nobody had a specific lesson. So I'm gonna bring up the lesson page here and show you some of the options. If you're a premium subscriber, I'm just signing into Smrt here. And if you are a premium subscriber, you have access to this. If you're not, sign up, get a free month. It is an awesome way to learn English from all over the world and connect with other English learners. I'm just going to Smrt English, smrtenglish.com, and I'm going to bring up the live page for the chat here and put it in for you guys. So here's the live page. And if you want to sign up, you definitely should. If you have questions about it, you can email Zach. Zach's our awesome moderator who just just put in the premium subscriber link as well, and I just put in Zach's email. So Zach, I'm directing questions to you. Thanks, buddy. If you have any questions about wanting to sign up, hello from Russia, Anastasia. Both pronunciations are used here in America. Hello from Russia. That's awesome. Good to have you here. Jeddah City, Omar in Jeddah City, Saudi Arabia. Very cool. French Leo. Hello, Russian girl. Use Anastasia's name. Come on, that's the polite thing to do. Hey, French guy. What's up, Frenchie? What's up, French guy? I'm kidding, of course. French Leo is a long-time subscriber. He's awesome. It just sounds funny to say hello, Russian girl. Hello, French guy. Hello, American man. We don't really address people that way in English. We usually say hello and the person's name, or sometimes their handle, which is slang for your screen name. Ilias, hello Ilias. Sway is back as well. What's up, Sway? And Ali from Qatar. So here's how you become a premium subscriber. We have awesome teachers here. Abby teaches the pre-intermediate. The amazing and wonderful Sean teaches the intermediate English. Neil teaches upper intermediate, and I teach English for academic purposes. So these are great classes. You can sign up for one, you can sign up for all of them, and your first month's free. So definitely sign up for that first month at least. Why not? It's free, right? Free English level assessment too. Take this test. It's a 60-minute test. There's 60 multiple choice questions, and it gives you, and a written section, it gives you a good understanding of your current English ability. So maybe you're thinking, well, I don't know what class to sign up for, but I want to know which one is right for me. Just take this test and you will know. Okay, I am going to jump into the topic, which today is not exactly a topic. So again, I got so many great responses from students after I said, I would like to know what you'd like to learn most. We've done academic reading, academic writing. We've gone into a little bit of academic listening. And we're going to review some of that today, but I still haven't gotten a specific topic from our library, from our class, from our premium subscribers. So I'm going to show you where that is after I take attendance. Let me make sure you guys are seeing the lesson here. Okay, I'm going to take attendance really quick for our premium subscribers, most of whom are signed in. Even Rosa's signed in. She has a terrible headache. Rosa, I hope you're watching this later and you feel much, much better, okay? So there we've taken attendance. Now I'm going to go into our lessons for our English 140. This is all of our lessons. So for premium subscribers, you can get in here and you can see all these. If you're not a premium subscriber yet, this is a little preview to just some of the content that you have access to when you become a subscriber. So there's 8 units here, all of which have hours and hours and hours of practice. One of these units, when I taught this here, we would spend a whole week, sometimes more than a week, on just this much, just listening and reading and writing short stories. There's so much content here. It looks just like a list of words, but these are books and books and books of good English practice exercises for academic purposes. And there's so much. Each lesson has its own exercises, quizzes, which we haven't done a quiz in a while. Once we start our next big lesson, we're going to do a quiz at the end for premium subscribers. So now's a great time to sign up if you haven't, because you can get in before we even start our lesson and then study with us and then take another exam through Smrt English. Okay. Okay. Looks like I'm watching the class and I'm addicted. Zach says Josh and the other streamers make this look so good. Ah, thanks, Zach. That's really nice of you to say. All right. Oh, Abdallah's fasting. That's right. Happy Ramadan, everyone. Some of you are fasting for the holiday of Ramadan, the month-long fasting. So let's get started. That's a good point. We're going to go into the lesson here, but what I'd like you to do for homework, everybody, is before next week, email me and choose one of these lessons and let me know what you want to learn most. Do you want to go into a short story and begin reading for homework and then talking about it, analyzing it, talking about how to write academically with prompts from that reading? Or do you want to go into a listening practice? Do you want to do more writing skills? What would you like to learn from these lessons here? We can go back into the contrasts between Chinese and Western medicine. That's a great one. Reading about obesity. We could even go back to presentation skills in our presentation series that we did. It was 2 or 3 or 4 classes on presentation skills. That was fun. So let me know. Choose one of these and then email me. That is your homework immediately for this lesson. What we did last week is we talked about some of our reading and writing skills combined. So we talked about just some of the reading examples here. We talked about sleep cycles, and we read through. We went over some of our vocabulary from our academic word list and explained those, and then your homework was to go over the reading of the sleep cycles and then analyze and come up with questions about content, come up with the thesis, the general statement. You can see the exercise here. It's quite long. I'll give you a little preview of exercises here. So the first step was to take some of these words that might be new, they might be unfamiliar to you, and put those words in these 4 columns where either I don't know it, it's brand new, I know it, and I kind of think I've seen it before, or sometimes I use it and I use it mostly correctly, or I can use it all the time, I can spell it, I can define it, I share the word with my friends, I know it well. So 4 degrees of knowledge regarding a specific vocabulary word. So your goal is to fill those boxes. Hopefully we're seeing more words in these 2 than these 2, but it's also a good thing if you see a lot of words in these 2 boxes because that means you can build your vocabulary. And then choosing the correct vocabulary words here. We went over a couple of these and talked about the answers. But then you were to do the pre-reading. So what is your pattern for sleep? What do you usually do when you go to bed and wake up? Thinking about the topic, becoming more familiar with the topic. What do I know about sleep cycles? What don't I know? So here's kind of what we went over. Now, like I said, last week I asked for topics, or last class, sorry, I asked for topics for us to study. And I got a lot of great responses, but no holistic topic. Nobody sent, I want to learn this lesson, 1-3 or 1-4. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to attempt to try to answer lots of the questions that you asked that were just small, single answer. I could not spend a whole class on it type questions. So we're going to explore Smrt. We're going to jump around a little bit. This will also give you a nice preview of what Smrt has to offer as far as reading, listening, writing, etc. So I think some of you were exploring the curricula. One student was asking me about this lesson, cloning and stem cells, because of some of the vocabulary. So it's a pretty big academic word list, right? If we look at this, there are a lot of words here, and many of them might be unfamiliar to you. So I'm going to zoom in as much as I can, try to make this screen larger for you. And then we're going to take a minute, and I just want a number. I just want you to count these words, look at them. I will remove myself from the screen in a second here. But I want you to look at these words, and I want you to give me 2 numbers. I'll type it in the chat, but I want you to give me the number you know and you can use. So it's kind of like this homework assignment, right? These 2 columns. The number that you know, you can use them, you definitely understand the words, and then words that either you don't know them or you see them and they're a little familiar, but you're not sure you could define them. So I'm asking you to break this down even more simply and say, I see the word, I know it, I'm pretty confident, I can give the definition. I know the definition. Or, I don't know the word, I don't know what it means, I kind of know what it means, but I'm not sure. So this will be the first number, how many don't you know? And then the second number will be how many you do know. So I'd like you to type that into the chat, and I'll give you an example. Just 2 numbers. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 4, there's 28 words here. So let's say I don't know 20 of them, and I do know 8 of them, okay? I'm just going to type 2 numbers, 1 number, comma, space, the second number. So the first number are the words I don't know. Words I don't know. And then the second number is words I do know. Words I feel confident using, okay? So that is the 2 numbers I'd like you to write, and be honest. Just be honest about the words that you do or don't know. It's okay if the first number is bigger. I expect a lot of our first numbers to be bigger. because these are academic words. These are words you might not have encountered before, but I'd like us to do a self-assessment really quick and say, how many of these words do I know? How many don't I know? So the first number should be words you don't know. The second number should be words you do know and you're familiar with. So I'm going to give you just a minute. Look them over. Take 1 or 2 minutes and then type those 2 numbers in the chat for me, please. Okay? All right. Thank you. Sorry about the sound. Didn't want it to overlap with the music. What I was saying is a lot of us know many of these words, and some of us don't know the words or as many words. So some of you know 27, 28, 21, 26. This is good, but I got to tell you, my favorite answer, there are 2 Jose's in the chat. One Jose knows 25, Jose Alvarez. Good job. That is awesome. But my favorite answer is the first Jose that typed and answered, Villanueva. Jose Villanueva. He knows 3, and there's 25 words on here that he gets the opportunity to learn. That's my favorite answer right now. That's not to say that I'm not proud of everybody else for knowing so many vocabulary words, but learning these vocabulary words, learning these new words is the best part, in my opinion. I love learning. I love when I myself come to a word I don't know because I get to add that to my vocabulary. So, Jose, today Make this your assignment. Actually, this week and weekend, choose 2 or 3 of these words every day and define them, write them, type them, practice them. Send me a Facebook message using 1 or 2 of these every day. Send one to Zach, send one to everybody you know. Just working these words into your everyday language. You can force these words into your everyday sentences and use them, and then you will remember them. You'll know them. You learn better by contextualizing this knowledge. You take a word that kind of means something in a textbook or in an article you read, but then you apply it to your own life. So let's say the word significant is a word that is new for you. Significant is a word that means it is of a magnitude of importance. So significant is a word that means it is something that has, it is a weight that has consequence. So I'm going to give you an example. If I drop 1 American penny on the ground, 1 cent, 1/100th of a US dollar, and I lose it, it's gone forever. That doesn't really affect my life in a big way. It's a very, very small amount of money. It's not significant. Now, if I get a paycheck and I have $20, and I that's my only $20, and I want to buy food with it, and I drop that and I lose it, that is significant in my life. That's an amount that would change my life in a significant way. If I'm not eating, if I don't have money for food, then that's significant. It's important. So this is a word that has that meaning, and I can use this. I can think of this word and choose this and maybe a couple other words and keep them on my mind, at the front of my mind, we'd say the forefront of my mind, and use them where they come up throughout the day. So maybe I get a phone call from a friend and they say, Josh, I spent 2 hours studying. I'm so tired. I know for that person, because they say I'm so tired, it was 2 hours, that was an impactful amount of time. That amount of time for them in their life was significant. So I can say, text, respond, say, wow, that's a significant amount of time to study. So I'm forcing this word into my vocabulary. I'm using it, I'm texting it to help myself remember, because it's a new word for me. So I'm going to choose 2 or 3 of these words each day, every day. And then at the end of the week, even if I choose just 2 of these words, at the end of the week, if I study for 7 days that way, that's 14 new words I have in my vocabulary. And these are academic English words. You can use these in essays. You can use these to study for exams, for the TOEFL, whatever you're doing. You can use these to sound intelligent when speaking with your employer. These are good words that you can use in a lot of different ways in English. So that would be my advice. Okay. Going back down through the chat just to see if anybody has questions. GOB believes this is easy. Awesome. Then let's see if you answered my definition question. I'm scrolling up to make sure. Okay, so what is the page that we can share the sentences? I will create a page for us that we can share some example sentences. And if you email me, if you're a premium subscriber, I'll give you links to all these exercises. Everybody after class gets an email from me on what we studied and what any homework is. So, okay. Learning words in context helps. JB said, yes, absolutely. That is totally correct. Gaming Overwatch Beast says, I know the whole English language. Awesome. You should be teaching this class. If you know the whole English language, I want you to teach this class. Please teach me some new vocabulary words, because I don't know the whole English language. I wish I did. I wish I was as cool as Gaming Overwatch Beast. That is awesome. I think that is very cool. Okay. Situation differs person to person, the mood of a person, the significance of a situation. Good sentence. That's great. I'll send out a document where we can all add to it, we can edit on it, and we can each use example sentences to try to teach each other the words. I'll send that out after class. Can I use all these words in an academic essay? Hiding Love asks. Yes, you can. These are all good words to use in an academic essay. Make sure that you're using them with the correct definition, but yes. Deary's jealous of gaming also. My email is joshua.live@smartenglish.com. joshua.live@smartenglish.com. You guys can send me an email if you have questions. What is the meaning of ramification? Serbest asks. Ramification is a synonym might be consequence, a ramification. So it's a secondary action that is a result of a primary action. So if I break the law, a ramification can be me going to jail, right? If I break the law, I can go to jail. That's a ramification. It's very similar to the word consequence. Consequence is like a negative outcome. Both of the words ramification and consequence are negative outcomes. So it is something bad that happens as a result, as a direct result of a primary action, one action that I take. So if I go outside in cold temperatures without a coat, the ramification, the consequence is I get cold. Now, the difference between ramification and consequence is consequence has a stronger meaning of fault, blame. So the break the law example, consequence is a more appropriate word because it is my fault that that I get arrested if I break the law. It's also my fault if I get cold because I walk outside without a jacket knowingly. But if I simply forgot my jacket and it's not necessarily my fault, ramification would be a good word to use. So I left for work and I forgot my jacket and it's so cold outside. The ramification was I got really, really cold. So ramification is something that we'd use more often when there's not a direct fault of the actor. Consequence is a word that we would use when there is more of a direct responsibility. So it's the actor's fault. Actor of the verb is what I mean. So hopefully that helps. Other questions, if you have any. Validity versus reliability, Rosa asks. Okay, so I'm going back through the questions. You guys have a bunch of good questions. Significant means something more important, yep. No, Sway, Sean's class shouldn't have any problems. Okay. Validity versus reliability. Okay, Rosa, I'll try to explain that quickly because I know you have a headache. You're still in class. What a trooper. Good job. Validity and reliability. Reliability is when you can trust something as true and accurate. And I think of reliable sources for academic research. You go to the library, you research, you trust an academic journal. Scientific American is a well-respected publication that you could cite, you could quote it, and you can trust that it is reliable information. So that magazine or that publication has reliability. The Journal of Medicine, the New England Journal of Medicine, is a reliable source for medical facts and knowledge. It's reliable. You can trust that the information is correct. Validity is more the actual facts themselves. Is this fact valid. Or another way you can use that word, if I make a complaint, if I say something like the internet is not working correctly, it's a valid complaint to my internet provider if something on their end is wrong, if they've made some error. If it's simply that I've made a mistake or it's my fault, it's not really a valid complaint. It's not at the fault of the internet company. So validity is similar to reliability in that it attests to the accuracy or the authenticity of the thing in question. But reliability is usually where the information comes from. Validity is the information itself. We would use it to describe the information itself. Hopefully that helps. Okay. Sway can't understand me. Please enlighten me. What don't you understand? Ask me a question. I'm happy to answer. French Leo has a good explanation too. Another way to use validity. Concert ticket is valid until the date of the concert. It is not valid after. No more validity. Yes and no. It's valid until a specific date, like a coupon or some sort of membership or discount. Your membership is valid until this date, and then afterwards it's no longer valid. Yes, valid ID is something we collocate in English too. Is the ID, identification, driver's license valid? What else have we got? Okay. Sir Best is writing an essay on the Great Gatsby. Good. That's an awesome book. I love that book. F. Scott Fitzgerald is amazing. It's a fun one to write on, I'm sure. Conditionals or consequences. Pablo, I'm not sure your question. Please ask again. All right. You can be reliable of Josh's answer. Thank you, Leo. Validity of goods, validity on information. Yeah, usually information. Okay, in some good way. Yes, it does touch on that subject. One can trust the reliability of his statements. That's a good sentence. Expiration date. Okay, so it looks like we're all caught up on questions. I'm going to bounce out of here and go to a different section now. Hopefully that helped. Those of you who are asking questions about vocabulary and about specific words in specific lessons. What else do we have here? Let me check my notes and see. Someone was asking about listening skills, and it was on deforestation here. So listening, someone was asking me about listening strategy and a few different things that you can do to practice listening skills for individual words and then for longer listening exercises. So individual words. Here is my advice on individual words. There's a lot of great technology out there, a lot of great resources online. Let's take a look really quick at Google Translate, because I'm pretty sure all of us use Google Translate time to time. I know I do. Translate.google.com. Great free service. They do some really cool stuff with visual translation. Maybe you can check that out if you have a smartphone. You can hold your phone up as an image to text that's maybe printed on a road sign, and it can live translate it for you. It's pretty amazing technology. But I want to talk about the pronunciation feature here. While Google is pretty advanced on their pronunciation of words, it's still not perfect. It is still not the pronunciation of a natural native English speaker. So here's my advice. When we have full sentences, let's take a listen and see how Google pronounces this sentence, okay?
Sometimes I use the word, but I'm not sure if I am using it correctly.
Okay, so that's just a very basic English sentence, a compound sentence, and it still doesn't sound natural to me. I've listened to English 32 years of my life, and it still sounds a little bit robotic. So it's getting close to natural speech. It's certainly better than even a couple of years ago, even a year ago. But it is not perfect by any means. So I would not recommend pasting entire sentences and then trying to mimic speech off the whole sentence. That's not a good idea. You can try to imitate movies, music, me, watch this video, try to sound like I do, imitate my voice, pretend to speak exactly the same way I speak, and that can help. But what Google Translate is very good with, almost all the time, is single words. So let's try a difficult word here, subsectors. Subsectors. Let's see how it pronounces this word.
Subsectors.
Yes and no.
Subsectors.
It's a little bit slower, and there's probably, I had the microphone on that time, so there might be a weird echo. But subsectors, it's not exactly perfect. There's still a little bit of robotics there, but it's better. It's better than the whole sentence. So if you don't know a native speaker or you can't find the pronunciation of a word, then you can try to use single words in Google Translate and see if that works.
Stakeholders.
That's a little bit better. Stakeholders. So use individual words in Google Translate if you're using it for the pronunciation feature, okay? You don't want to sound like a robot when you learn English. You want to sound like me or someone I went to school with. The goal of these classes, Smart English Live, is to try to help you sound and speak and write and read like a native speaker. We want your English to be North American English. We want it to be perfect English for every situation, for traveling. This, of course, is English for academics, so university or business. So this is my advice to you. Another good resource is YouTube for specific words. Sometimes you can just type pronunciation. Let's try to find it. Of stakeholders. Let's see if we can find how to pronounce stakeholders right here.
Stakeholders.
The world is a big place, and at times it may seem that what we do could not possibly have an impact on it. Yet, as we've seen with deforestation, there are a great deal of consequences that accompany it. When forests are cut, and there's no assurance that they are replanted or allowed to regrow in some way, then species die, land is destroyed, and the forests are lost to future generations. A lot of the reasons for the severe deforestation practices around the world stem from the governments of the countries they take place in. There's a lack of direction from officials and little to no plan, short or long term, that loggers must adhere to. When it comes to Canada, we'll see that although there is a degree of deforestation there, the situation is much better than in other parts of the world because of the presence of government regulations and a proven commitment to sustainable forestry.
Okay, I'm back. Hey, you can hear me now. Sorry about that, guys. We didn't need to hear what I said, really. Basically, I said, if you need to hear pronunciation, you can email me. If you're a premium subscriber, you can email me with a list of words, and I will pronounce those words for you, so we can individualize your goals. So as a premium subscriber, if you are one, you get homework, you get corrections, you get video feedback, all of these things, and quizzes, which we're going to come up, like I said, soon. But we can also individualize your goals. So if your goal is not to become a better writer, and maybe that week we're practicing writing exercises and homework, you can email me and say, Josh, I'm comfortable writing. What I really need now is listening or pronunciation practice. Here are the words I need to pronounce. I will simply record a video for you and pronounce those words, and then ask you to do the same. Practice them with my voice, my pronunciation, and then send me a message back with your own pronunciation, and I can correct it for you. I can say, yes, you got this word perfectly. Or I can say, no, this word you keep pronouncing incorrectly. We need to fix that a little bit. So some of you want to become better writers. Some of you want to become better listeners. It is okay to come up with your individual goals if you're a premium subscriber. Now, if you just want general practice, keep coming to these classes, keep tuning in, and asking good questions in the chat. When we move the studio, I'm going to rearrange the monitors a little bit so my chat is right there a little bit more in front of me, because you guys did do a good job. There is a bit of a lag in the chat, but you did a good job of letting me know there wasn't sound there. So I'm so sorry about that. It's been a crazy week here, and it's going to be a crazy weekend until Tuesday when our next class airs. So fingers crossed. This is an American thing. We do fingers crossed for good luck, right? I hope it goes well and there's no interruption to our streams. But if there is, please know we're going to fix it right away. We just have we're moving the studio and we have some internet set up to do. So that's going to be happening this week and weekend. All right. So Fabio says the impact of deforestation here in Brazil is huge because of the feeble laws and how they are badly enforced. Fabio, I'm sorry to hear that. I do know that's an issue in Brazil, and I hope it's corrected because our forests are really important. They provide oxygen, right? So what my goal of playing that listening was to say that you can make notes of specific words that you don't know the pronunciation of and the timestamps for them. So if there's a word right here,
that they are replanted or allowed to regrow in some way.
So maybe my word is replanted or regrow. So I can keep going back to that timestamp of 18 or 20 seconds.
That they are replanted or allowed to regrow.
Because I'm looking at my notes and I see, oh, there's question mark, right? At 19, at minute or second 19. there's a word that I don't know the pronunciation of. And you can send me an email with that too. You can say, Josh, at this link, at the first listening, at second 19, I don't know what they're saying. And I can listen, I can play it back, and I can try to explain for you. So, what is the black dot on my finger? Oh, you could see that? Wow, that is a blood blister. I was actually skateboarding, and I fell on the ground and I hit my finger. And so that is a blister, a blood blister. Google it. You'll probably get a bunch of gross images. But yeah, I slipped and I fell on the ground, and so I just hurt myself a little bit, but I'm okay. I'll survive. I'm amazed you could see that, though. That your connection must be really good. Okay. And that's a great question. You can always ask me any question you want. So if you want to learn about American culture, if you want to learn about how do I speak with Americans when I'm traveling, what's a good place to eat in Seattle or Spokane or Vancouver, ask me these questions. If it is not immediately pertaining to class, I might say, great question, send me an email later, or message me on Facebook, or something else, because I won't always have time in class. This class has been kind of a collective class of addressing a few different questions that I got from emails over the week. But you can always ask me anything. So Tasnim is Sanam or Tasnim. I never got the pronunciation of your name, but this is your first class and you're studying American history and in literature. It's amazing. Awesome. That's a really cool class, sounds like. All right. Dictionaries which allow you to see the words, the meaning, and the pronunciation. Yeah, I use dictionary.com a lot. I like it. I think it's a good resource. I'll show you guys. Here is dictionary.com. It's nice because it's pretty clean. The definitions are pretty concise, and I just like the layout. So this is my favorite dictionary. It's just really simple, really easy. It's the one I use on my smartphone. The free version's really good. I've contemplated upgrading to the paid version for a while. It's like $3 US dollars. I haven't, but maybe I will. Anyway, it's got word of the day. You can jump over really quickly to thesaurus, which I like. So if we have a word like stakeholder, since that's a word we looked up in class, if we have a word like that, we can easily switch over to thesaurus just by clicking the tab at the top there. And just type the word again. So it gives you synonyms here. And it's kind of nice too. It gives you synonyms. There used to be an option where it gave you antonyms as well. But it's just a nice, clean website. I like it. But use whatever you like. You might like Merriam-Webster. That's another good one. You can use any dictionary you like. But if you need resources like that too, you can reach out to me. Okay, Javier from Colombia. Hello, Javier from Colombia. Good to have you. So Yazin uses Cambridge Dictionary. That one's okay too. I don't know their website because I don't use it, but dictionary.cambridge.org. So that's the one Yazin uses. Sometimes I'll use m-w.com. I like that the website for it is so easy to go to. m-w.com brings you right here. It's Merriam-Webster. This is the dictionary I used in college, and it's really nice too. They have a little bit more detail to their definitions, so I usually don't immediately recommend it for language learners, but I think in academic purpose class like this, English for academic purposes, you can definitely use this. But we can talk about that too. We can talk about free online resources. In fact, if you're a premium subscriber, you should, I believe, have access to, when you go into the library, and you go into menu, you can look at English resources. And this has grammar videos, dictionaries, world news, educational videos, and learning tools. I really like the learning tool page. I think this is really awesome. There's irregular verb list. How many times have you thought of an irregular verb and thought, oh man, what is the past participle of that? I don't remember. Here's a big list for you. Drive, drove, driven, eat, ate, eaten, find, found, found, forget, forgot, forgotten. All of these put, irregular verbs that you probably search for. This is an awesome resource right here that you have access to. But also modal verbs. Here's a simple English Wikipedia. This is great. Links to Prezi, Spelling City, a typing test. How fast are you at typing? That's a good one. Free Rice is fun. Owl Purdue, I've talked about this website a lot as well. Quizlet, Duolingo. So all of these resources online are collected here for you too. All the more reason to sign up for Smrt because you have everything right there for you. We choose the best of the best that's available out there and usually free for our students. So you get access to all of our curricula, but then you get access to our sort of recommended resources as well. So you know these are reliable sources that you can find good information on. So hopefully that helps as well. Another, like I said, cool part of the English resources, you can go to grammar videos, dictionaries, world news, whatever, educational videos. Here are other dictionaries you can use as well that are good for language learners. So Macmillan, there's Merriam-Webster there, Oxford, thesaurus.com, which I like, Learner's Dictionary, and then Longman and Word Reference. Also, this is really cool, the online etymology dictionary. Etymology is the history of words, the origin of the words. I love this. So if you hear a phrase, an idiom in English that you're not sure, where did that idiom come from? Like raining cats and dogs. This is something we say in English. Oh, it's raining cats and dogs. It shows you the history of where this came about. So here's an example, to rain on someone's parade. That's another phrase. Phrase to rain cats and dogs is from 1738. 1738, long time ago. Also, variation, rain dogs and polecats from the 1650s. So unknown origin, intense speculation. So we're not really sure, but there's a few different ideas here. This is a really cool website if you just want to learn more about idioms and collocations. So check that out too. That is about all the time we have for today. Thank you all so much for showing up to this kind of random class. This was a little bit of everything. This was answering questions from some of our premium subscribers and hopefully elaborating on a few questions that they had. So homework for today is two parts. One is I'm gonna make a shared document for all of our premium subscribers so you guys can choose the vocabulary words that you want practice you want to practice with this week. And you're going to give examples of how you used it in your life for all of us to just read and share. So write any of those down that you wish. I'll show you examples in the document so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, but you'll get that in an email right after class. Second part of the homework is to explore your class. Go into your class and tell me which of these units you want to practice and study, because we've caught up on our goals. Our goals were to do presentation topics. We did APA way back, and then presentation, outlines, writing, thesis statement, general statement, reading strategies, test-taking strategies. We've kind of done a lot of the things that I wanted to cover for students. Now I want to cover what you want to cover. So do you want more practice with reading? Do you want more practice with listening? Do you want more practice with writing, APA format, presentation skills, I want to hear what you want. I'm going to come up with my own plan of what I would like to teach next week in case nobody sends me good, thoughtful ideas. But I suspect you guys have brilliant, thoughtful ideas about what you want practice with. So send me those. If somebody has a topic that I believe we can all benefit from, I will teach that topic next week. If not, I will come up with my own awesome topic for next week. So I look forward to seeing everybody there. What I'd like you guys to do also is, you're welcome. Sway's girlfriend says hi. Hi, Sway's girlfriend. Looks like repetition is, of course, thank you, French though. You guys are all welcome. There's so many nice comments in there. You guys are very, very nice. All right. Tons of comments coming in the chat. You guys are great. That's all I have for today. Premium subscribers, look out for your email. It's going to be coming through in just 5 minutes after class. If you're not a premium subscriber, please sign up. smartenglish.com/live/live. Check it out. Email Zach. I'm typing these in the chat again. smartenglish.com. Email me, joshua.live@smartenglish.com. And we'll see you guys next week, okay? Same time, same place. You're wonderful. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, everybody. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I will see you next time. Here's a few short words from Sean.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to our channel. Also, if you want the full experience of being a student in a Smrt Live class with things like homework and teacher feedback, follow the link and become a premium subscriber. Also, if you want to see more videos from this class, check out our playlist.